The Mind and Reality. The Exorcist. The following is a true story of the supernatural in Thailand, of the supernatural wisdom of the amazing Ajahn Chah. The headman of a nearby village with one of his assistants walked in hurriedly to see Ajahn Chah under his hut where he received guests. One of the village women had become possessed by a violent and evil spirit the previous evening. They could not help her, so they were bringing her to the great monk. As they spoke with Ajahn Chah, screaming could be heard not far away. Ajahn Chah immediately ordered 2 novices to start a fire and boil up some water. Then he told 2 other novices to dig a big hole close to his hut. None of the novices knew why. 4 strong village men, tough northeastern rice farmers, were hardly able to contain the writhing woman. As they dragged her through one of the holiest of monasteries, she was screaming obscenities. Ajahn Chah saw her and barked at the novices, "Dig faster! Get that water boiling! We'll need a big hole and lots of boiling water." Not even the monks and villagers under Ajahn Chah's hut could figure out what he was up to. As they pulled the screaming woman under Ajahn Chah's hut, she was literally foaming at the mouth. Her blood-red eyes were stretched wide with her madness, and her face assumed crazy contortions as she hurled crudity after obscenity at Ajahn Chah. More men joined in to hold down the spitting woman. "Is the hole dug yet? Quick! Is the water boiled? Faster!" Ajahn Chah shouted above the yells of the woman, "We have to throw her in the hole. Pour the boiling water all over her, then bury her. That's the only way to get rid of this evil spirit. Dig faster. More boiling water." We had learned from experience that no one could be sure what Ajahn Chah might do. He was uncertainty in the form of a monk. The villagers certainly thought he was about to throw the possessed woman into the hole, scald her all over with boiling water and bury her. And they would let him. She must have thought so too, because she started to grow calm. Before the hole was completed, and before the water was boiled, she was sitting calmly in the peace of exhaustion in front of Ajahn Chah, gracefully receiving a blessing before they gently led her home. Brilliant. Ajahn Chah knew that possessed or just crazy, there is something powerful inside each one of us called self-preservation. He skillfully and very dramatically pressed that button in her and let the fear of pain and death exorcise the demon possessing her. That's wisdom, intuitive, unplanned, unrepeatable. The biggest thing in the world. The daughter of a friend from my college days was in her first year at primary school. Her teacher asked the large class of 5-year-olds, "What is the biggest thing in the world?" "My daddy," said one small girl. "An elephant," answered a young boy who had recently been to the zoo. "A mountain," replied another. My friend's young child said, "My eye is the biggest thing in the world." The class went quiet as they all tried to understand the little girl's answer. "What do you mean?" asked her teacher, equally perplexed. "Well," began the miniature philosopher, "my eye can see her daddy, and it can see an elephant. It can also see a mountain and many other things as well. Since all this can fit into my eye must be the biggest thing in the world." Wisdom is not learning, but seeing clearly what can never be taught. With much respect to my friend's young daughter, I would extend her insight a little further. It is not your eye, but your mind, that is the biggest thing in the world. Your mind can see all that your eye can see, and it can see more that is supplied through your imagination. It can also know sounds, which your eye can never see, and know touch, both real and made of dream stuff. Your mind can also know what lies outside your 5 senses. Because everything that can be known can fit into your mind must be the biggest thing in the world. The mind contains all. Searching for the mind. Many scientists and their supporters assert that the mind is merely a byproduct of the brain. So in question time after my talks, I'm often asked, does the mind exist? If so, where? Is it in the body, or is it outside? Or is it everywhere and all over? Where is the mind? To answer this question, I conduct a simple demonstration. I ask my audience, if you are happy right now, raise your right hand, please. If you are unhappy, even a little, please raise your left hand. Most people raise their right hand, some truly, the rest out of pride. Now, I continue, those who are happy, please point to that happiness with your right index finger. Those who are unhappy, please point to that unhappiness with your left index finger. Locate it for me. My audience begin to wave their fingers pointlessly up and down. Then they glance around at their neighbours in similar confusion. When they get the message, they laugh. Happiness is real. Unhappiness is true. There is no doubt that these things exist. But you cannot locate these realities anywhere in your body, anywhere outside of your body, or anywhere at all. This is because happiness and unhappiness are part of the territory exclusive to the mind. They belong to the mind like flowers and weeds belong to the garden. The fact that flowers and weeds exist proves that a garden exists. In just the same way, the fact that happiness and unhappiness exist proves that the mind exists. The discovery that you cannot point to happiness or unhappiness shows that you cannot locate the mind in three-dimensional space. Indeed, remembering that the mind is the biggest thing in the world, the mind cannot be within three-dimensional space, but three-dimensional space is within the mind. The mind is the biggest thing in the world,